Hello and welcome to this business presentation of MariusMedia Technology. My name is Stefan Beuner and I have the honor to show you for the next 30 minutes what this whole Bitcoin and blockchain revolution is all about. Let's jump right into it. What is fascinating about the Bitcoin and blockchain itself? For me personally, when I found out about it at the first hand, this was that the blockchain was basically creating trust without third parties. So there's no middleman involved because everything is transparent and publicly displayed on the blockchain. Every transaction can be tracked, but anonymously. So nobody will know who sent the money from one wallet to another, but we can see how much. And this also creates the trust. The Bitcoin itself is the evolution of a financial system, and that means that it is the currency and the payment system combined. That means it is a kind of an evolution of the financial system, because normally we have a currency like the US dollar or the euro and a payment system like Venmo, MasterCard, Visa, PayPal, or Western Union. But in Bitcoin, this is combined. That means it is an evolution in the financial system. Let me explain you this on an example. If I have $10,000 in my bank account says $10,000, and then if I want to send it to you, it goes over a payment system or a payment provider like Venmo, MasterCard, or Visa, or PayPal. And then it receives at your bank, and you will have these $10,000. Your bank says, okay, now we have this transaction secured. The disadvantage in this is that we have fees, restrictions, it's very, very slow, and on holidays or on Sundays, it's closed, unfortunately, so this is not optimal. This problem gets solved by Bitcoin because Bitcoin is not owned by anybody. It is peer-to-peer, it is very open and secure, instant, and almost for free. So that means if I have a Bitcoin and I want to send it to you, it goes directly from my Bitcoin wallet to your Bitcoin wallet over the blockchain, which is publicly displayed, but no one will know that it's from me to your wallet, but everybody will see that there has been one Bitcoin sent through the blockchain to your wallet. So this is what creates the trust in this whole crypto revolution, and that's why I trust in it as well. But let's talk about the price, because a lot of people are asking themselves, hey, so is this Bitcoin revolution already over or not? Where is the Bitcoin price gonna go? Let me answer you this, that the Bitcoin price is only dependent on two factors. The request, which is growing, which I'm going to prove in a second, and the limited availability. What do I mean by that? The request is growing organically, which you can see here on blockchain.com. And here we have 2018, and here we have 2020. And you can see clearly that the request is growing of the blockchain and the Bitcoin itself because it's growing organically. A lot more blockchain wallets are being created every day, which you can see here. It's just below 50 million blockchain wallets and of blockchain wallet users. Also, you can see the request that a lot of shops and retail locations are accepting Bitcoin as a method of payment right now, like Google, Walmart, Subway, Microsoft, Apple, Uber, PayPal, and so on. For every shop which hasn't accepted it yet, there's a third way application, like for example, Virex. Virex is a debit Visa card, and you can literally put Bitcoins in your Virex Bitcoin wallet and then exchange it for US dollars or euros for the daily price. And then you can actually pay your groceries with it. You can book flights. You can do whatever you want with these euros or dollars or bitcoins, and you can basically pay with them anywhere. So what you can see here is on coinmap.org the spread of this Bitcoin revolution. So here in the United States, we have a lot of Bitcoin adoption already happening, where you can already pay in a lot of shops. Here in Venezuela, South America, Brazil, then here in South Korea, in Japan, in Thailand, Vietnam, here in Bali, where I'm currently living for the last 2 years already, and in Australia. And this proves that the request is growing organically. The availability, though, is very, very limited. So that means we have only a fixed supply of Bitcoins, which are totally going to be in circulation. What do I mean by that? We are currently here at this red arrow. So that means that we have currently a little bit more than 18 million Bitcoins in circulation. And that means that is always going a lot less being produced than before. Because here we can see that we only have 21 million Bitcoins totally being produced around 2034. So this blue line, it's getting closer to the 21 million mark. And why is this? Because every 4 years, we're producing only half of the Bitcoins every day than before. So the Bitcoin actually is de-inflationary. That means the inflation is going down, and every Bitcoin will be worth more over time. Compared to the current financial system, which we have, is actually inflationary. So every dollar is becoming less valuable because the Federal Reserve is printing more money and devaluing every dollar which is currently in circulation. So in this graphic, I can show you this more clearly, that, for example, here from 2009, when the first Bitcoin has been established, until 2012, in this red box, we can see that we produced 7,200 Bitcoins every day. And the price was at that time around $1 to $10, and then it went down again. And then something very, very interesting happened. In the Bitcoin algorithm, which has been programmed around 2008, 2009, it has been implemented that the first halving happened in 2012 in November, and from one day to another, we only produced 7,200, then to 3,600 Bitcoins a day. And that means the availability got a lot more scarce, and that means the price went actually up more than $100 per Bitcoin. And after that, even more than $1,000 per Bitcoin. After that, we corrected very healthily down to around $200 again. And then the second halving happened in 2016. So we produced a lot less Bitcoins, only half of this, so 1,800 Bitcoins a day. So the request grew a lot more because the adoption happened around the world slowly but steadily, but the availability is more limited then. And what happened? Logically, the Bitcoin price raised over 20,000 US dollars. And after that, we corrected very healthily down to $3,200. And right now, we are just before the third halving on the 12th of May, 2020. So on that day, we will only produce 900 Bitcoins every day for the next 4 years. And this can be explained very easily on an example. For example, if you go to a party and you invite 10 of your friends and you bring 10 beer to this party, and every beer costs around $1. And the party was very good, the beer was great, and the next day you will not bring 10 people to the party, but 11. and you only put down 5 beers on the table. What happens with the beer price? Of course, it goes up because the request is growing, because more people want the beer, but there's only 5 instead of 10 available, so the beer price has to go up. The same thing happened here with Bitcoin twice, and I'm very sure it will happen the third time after the third halving, sometime in the future. So now we know that the Bitcoin has to go up from a mathematical view. And now, since we know that, let's see how we can use this knowledge to actually benefit from this crypto revolution. MariusMedia Technology is a company which we're gonna see now. And I first wanna introduce you the company itself, what it's all about. Then I will show you all of the securities, the time and the profit, and the capital demand, what you need to actually start this thing and get ready to go. So the company MariusMedia Technology SRL contains 3 main factors. Basically, it's about Bitcoin mining, it's about staking, and masternodes. So these 3 pillars we use to actually multiply the Bitcoins which are being invested. How does this work in particular? I will show you this in an example. What does mining actually mean? Mining is legitimately the creation of the new Bitcoins, which I explained earlier, and there are many different methods of actually doing so. The old method of creating new Bitcoins was mining by air-cooled units, the so-called ASIC miners, and these ones were built only for that single purpose of mining Bitcoins. They couldn't do anything else, and they were very, very energy consuming, so they were not producing as many Bitcoins at that time. But what MariusMedia Technology has is the new prototype of liquid cooled mining. They're being cooled by oil, and this is a completely closed system here in these containers you can see. And these prototypes we have, they are using less electricity and have a higher power output, so they are producing a lot more Bitcoins than these old machines which our competitors have. And that's why we're much more and far ahead of the competitors and will be more profitable in the future and now as well. Another advantage what we have in MariusMedia Technology is that we don't only just produce the Bitcoin, but also other coins as well. So we're actually reducing the risk of just putting the eggs in one basket, but we're putting them in many baskets and spreading the risk and putting out more profit for our investors. So we also can create with these prototypes the so-called Dash coins, the Zcash, and the Ethereum coins. And this is very, very special to mention because these prototype miners can also be reprogrammed not only to crypto mining, but also to drone navigation, online gaming, Netflix, streaming hosting, or other things. So these so-called FPGA boards can be reprogrammed to other purposes in case the crypto mining will not be as profitable in the future. So the investors and the profits are secured in the future for sure, because our programmers can reprogram them at any time. What will we do with these freshly mined coins? First, we will pay them out to our investors, and secondly, we will put some of the profit into the so-called staking. And the so-called staking is, in retrospect, the same thing what the banks used to do. So they're putting out interest, yeah, and then with this interest, we have a compound interest, and with this compound interest, we'll generate more profit, and with this more profit, we'll generate even more compound interest, and so on and so on. So basically, on the example of Dash, if we take the example we just talked about before, for example, we can take these Dash coins, put them in an online wallet, lock them there for a certain amount of time, and this will generate more profit. With these staked, newly generated coins, we will then proceed to put them into master nodes. And master nodes are specialized servers which are also working kind of like mining rigs, but in a different method. So here we don't need computing power and so-called hash power. We are using these master nodes to generate more coins, and it works like this. In the example of Dash, that we have 1,000 Dash coins and we program them into one of these servers which are running 24/7, and they are generating new Dash coins over time the longer they run and the more coins you actually have. So if you have 6 of these master nodes running, you'll have 6 times the amount of Dash being produced. The problem for every masternode investor is that you need a certain amount of masternode coins. For example, Dash, you will need 1,000 Dash coins to program one masternode. And not everyone has that amount of money, so we're pooling it together and spreading the profits depending on how much money every investor gave us. And masternode itself is a backup server which actually saves a whole copy of the masternode itself and of the whole blockchain. So you can also refer on a masternode like a toll station. So the more cars which are going through the toll station, the more profit you generate, and the more toll stations you actually own, the more profit you will have in the end. You also have a lot of securities with MariusMedia technology. For example, we have the whole investment backed by a contract. And with this contract, it will guarantee that your benefit will be paid out at the end, because we have a commercial registry number and we're located in Lumina Constanța in Romania. And that means that we only have a 5-minute way from the Black Sea in Romania. And the biggest container harbor is only 25 kilometers away from our mining operations and our coin multiplication operations. And that means the ways are very, very short. And even now, in this humanitarian crisis, we still can guarantee that all of the miners and all of the operations are still going smoothly because we're directly located near a very, very large harbor, actually the biggest harbor in Romania. Also, we have a European law because Romania is part of the EU and not in Panama or the Cayman Islands or Hong Kong or somewhere where there are tax evasions. So we are actually having European law, and this is not an air company or something like that or any trading bots, but with real people, real machines, and real work what we're putting in there to multiply your coins. Also, you have an investment in hardware and the community support, which convinced me personally that a lot of crypto influencers, crypto experts, people who know what they're talking about, already screened this whole operation, this whole company. So it has already been proven that this company is real, that there are real people. You can contact them anytime per email or on the phone or whatever you would like. And you have the direct contact also to the CEOs if you would like to. Now let's come to the time and the profit. What is possible and what are your opportunities? The duration, the profit, and the payout after so and so many months is, for example, 12 months, 24 months, or 36 months. And here we have a little bit of distribution of the profit. For example, if you have a 12 months contract, you will get 30% per year. 24 months will be 32% per year, and most of the people actually choose the 36 months of a contract. That means you will double your Bitcoins after 3 years. Actually, a little bit more than that. But what would happen, for example, if you would invest your Bitcoins, which you bought previously, and don't just let them sit in your wallet, but you actually invest them into the physical hardware, it happens that you would get 34% of the profit after 12 months, 24 months, and 36 months. And after 36 months, you would get also your deposit back. And that means that you will double your investment effectively and double your Bitcoins. And so this whole coin multiplication makes a lot of sense. What you also have is the so-called accumulation contract if you are saving. Because right now the biggest problem of the casual savers is that the banks don't have any more interest rates. Actually, they're taking away your money if you're saving it on a savings contract. So for example, we can have also 12 months, 24 months, or 36 months of a contract, and 20% per year of payout. And this would happen like this, that you would pay the money in monthly, for example, $500 every month, also without investing into Bitcoin before. What you can do is you can take your dollars and send them directly to the company, and we will exchange them for free into Bitcoin if you want. If you don't want, you want to leave them in dollars, that's also possible, but that's your choice. But you will basically save these over these durations of the contract, and after the 12 months, the 24 months, and the 36 months, you will get the payout. And if you have a 36 months of a contract, then you would have to let 1 more year to take time. And after that, you will get the payout back completely of your deposit. Because if you only pay in monthly, we need 1 more year to actually generate the profit for the last year. Let's look at this more deeply on an example with money, because here you can see the capital demand of the classic investment contract. Here we have an example of 36 months, a minimum investment of 0.5 Bitcoin, and a yearly profit of 34%. That would be monthly 2.83%. And show me a bank which gives you a profit of 2.83% a year. I don't think that's still there, but let's see what can happen with our investment if we would invest 5 Bitcoin today. At the current price level, that would be 7,000 US dollars. So I will put 35,000 US dollars here in this red box. And let's see what happens if the Bitcoin price stays at $7,000 after 3 years. Out of these $35,000, it would generate a profit of 70,700 US dollars. If you would not invest into our company and would just let these 5 Bitcoins sit in your wallet, there would not happen anything. But in the worst case scenario, if the Bitcoin price goes down half to 3,500 US dollars, out of your 35,000 US dollars, if you wouldn't invest in it, it would actually become less valuable. So you would make a deficit of 17,500 US dollars. If you would invest your $35,000 into our company, you would actually even generate a little profit of $35,350. But what if the price of the Bitcoin goes back to 20,000 US dollars, which we already had in the past? So your 35,000 US dollars would become more valuable, yeah, 202 80,000 US dollars. If you would just let it sit in your Bitcoin wallet, then this would also be a nice profit. But let's assume you would invest in the company and then you would have more than double than that. And my personal projection of the Bitcoin price in the future after 3 years is $100,000. If you would just let these 5 Bitcoins sit there, this would be worth $500,000. But if you would invest that in the company, then it would be more than 1 million US dollars. And I think that's a really, really great profit. And let's see what happens with your capital demand of the accumulation contract of a duration of 36 months with the minimum invest of $100. That would be yearly 20% on your investment, and monthly that would be 1.66%. So let's assume we invest $500 monthly directly to the company, and you could either decide if you want to let it sit there in dollars and just let it accumulate over time, or exchange it into Bitcoin for free over our company. And what would happen with your money over time? If you would save $500 over 36 months, that would be a total of 18,000 US dollars. If you would let this sit in here and get the yearly profit of 20%, that would be a total of 28,800 US dollars. And that means that you actually have a market cap of, or a Bitcoin price of 7,000 US dollars. If the Bitcoin price goes to $20,000, out of your 18,000 normally saved dollars, it would be 82,285,000 US dollars. And if the Bitcoin price goes to 100,000 US dollars, you would have $411,425. And I think that's a great deal if you think about it, that a normal savings contract would actually generate so much profit. Every investor gets a normal back office from us for free, so everybody can keep track of their investment. For example, if you would have invested on the 1st of October 2019, and this contract goes for 3 years, the 5 Bitcoins you initially invested would be now 5.31 Bitcoins already, and that's already more than $2,000 of passive profit. And the end of the period of the first year, that would be 6.7 Bitcoins, and so on and so on, and there would be 2 more years to come. So we would end up with more than 10 Bitcoins after 3 years, and I think that's great. So let's look at this summary for the end. The company itself, it's a registered company with a commercial registry. We pay taxes in Romania. It's not an air company, but it's with real people you can call, and it has very good infrastructure connections around the world where we get all of our miners from. We have a lot of securities like the contract, the back office, and the direct contact to the CEOs, so you can always call us if you want to. We have the time and the profit. If you want to look back to what I just told you, go ahead and calculate. And the capital demand should be clear by now as well, so you know exactly how much out of your investment would be. And now there's the time that I can only say, if you have any more questions, please continue to write directly to backoffice@MariusMedia.com or the sales manager you trust. And thank you for your time, and welcome aboard to MariusMedia Technology SRL.